There are actors whose faces become familiar and then fade, and then there are figures whose presence feels permanent, like a quiet truth we cannot ignore. Keanu Reeves belongs to the latter group, a man whose talent is matched by a kindness that seems almost impossible in an industry obsessed with image. He has never pursued fame for its own sake, yet the world has consistently insisted on shining the spotlight on him. Even as he rose to international recognition, he maintained a sense of humility and privacy rare in Hollywood. His life is a story of endurance, surviving personal losses that might have broken others, yet choosing gentleness over bitterness. It is this resilience, coupled with his refusal to exploit pain for attention, that makes him feel extraordinary. Reeves exemplifies that greatness is measured not just by success, but by integrity and humanity. A childhood marked by displacement. Keanu Reeves entered the world in Beirut, a city already marked by instability, and his early life was defined by constant movement. His name, meaning cool mountain breeze, suggested calm, yet the promise of stability eluded him. His parents' marriage was already dissolving when he was born, and by age 2, his father had disappeared entirely. His mother remarried multiple times, each new union ending in departure, leaving Reeves with a succession of stepfathers who never truly became family. Amid the turbulence, his younger sister became his anchor, the one consistent presence in a life otherwise defined by impermanence. These early experiences taught him that home was not a place, but a fragile idea, something to be carried internally. Yet, the lack of stability also instilled in him an awareness of fragility, shaping a sensitivity that would inform both his personal relationships and his artistic depth. Struggles in school and the battle with dyslexia school was no refuge. It became another battlefield for Reeves. Over 5 years, he attended 4 different high schools, each one reinforcing a sense of not belonging. Dyslexia made learning arduous, turning simple reading into a daily struggle, while teachers often misread his curiosity as defiance. Asking too many questions sometimes earned him punishment rather than guidance. Once, a principal expelled him, not for misbehavior, but because his relentless pursuit of understanding challenged authority. Reeves's intelligence was misunderstood as rebellion, his hunger for knowledge mistaken for trouble. In a world that constantly shifted beneath him, he found one place of control: the ice rink. There, he became the Wall, a goalkeeper whose focus and discipline allowed him to shut out chaos, proving that even amid confusion, he could carve out space for mastery and identity. The ice rink as a sanctuary. For a period, the ice rink was Reeves's sanctuary. Hockey became a defining identity, offering stability in a life defined by unpredictability. He dreamed of playing in the Ontario Hockey League and representing Canada on the Olympic stage, clinging to the possibility of a future built on passion and skill. But at 15, his world shifted dramatically. A severe injury abruptly ended his hockey career, teaching him an early and painful lesson. Even the things we love most can vanish without warning. The rink, once a haven, transformed into a symbol of loss. Yet, Reeves did not succumb to bitterness. Instead, the experience redirected him, prompting him to seek new avenues for focus and expression. The pain of losing his dream did not harden him. It shaped his resilience, showing that endurance comes not from avoiding suffering, but from learning to persist despite it. Discovering performance as a refuge. After hockey, Reeves discovered a new sanctuary: performance. Acting offered a space where stories could shelter him, where grief could be expressed and transformed. This path was not easy. Dyslexia made scripts challenging, requiring patience and perseverance. But unlike the rigid academic world, the stage and screen rewarded authenticity, allowing him to channel pain into art. Leaving school labeled as a misfit, he moved to Los Angeles with little more than a battered car, a suitcase, and a name difficult to pronounce. His early days were defined by struggle: tiny apartments, odd jobs, and auditions ending in rejection. Yet he persisted. Survival had become a habit ingrained from childhood upheaval, and moving forward, even without certainty, was the only option. Acting became not just a career, but a means of transforming endurance into creative power. Early roles and the first glimmer of depth, Reeves's beginnings in Hollywood were humble. He took small television roles, commercials, and children's programs simply to survive, often appearing on screen with visible desperation, as if proving not only his talent but his existence. Then came his breakthrough in the indie film River's Edge, which revealed an unexpected depth. Critics noticed a quiet intensity, an authenticity that suggested he was not merely acting grief, but carrying it. In this period, he formed a deep bond with River Phoenix, a kindred spirit who understood the loneliness behind talent. For the first time, Reeves felt he belonged, not as a celebrity, but as an artist. Yet Hollywood's machinery struggled to categorize him, reflecting a recurring theme in his life, being misunderstood by institutions and peers, despite his sincere efforts. The burden of typecasting, Reeves's big commercial breakthrough, came with Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, a role that made him a pop culture icon. However, success brought new constraints. Hollywood labeled him too light, too goofy for serious roles, despite his ambitions to explore depth. Each achievement felt like a step forward, yet simultaneously a step into confinement. The industry's perception mirrored earlier patterns in his life, when curiosity and hope had been punished rather than nurtured. Reeves had learned survival in uncertainty, but now he had to survive in misunderstanding. The labels imposed by others did not define his capabilities. Rather, they highlighted his capacity for patience and endurance. He continued working, refining his craft, and waiting for opportunities that allowed his talent to speak beyond typecasting. The 1990s: fame, integrity, and resistance. In the 1990s, Reeves navigated Hollywood not as a golden boy, but as a quietly determined outsider. His performance in Point Break revealed a new kind of action hero, one with depth, introspection, and subtle melancholy beneath the adrenaline. Then came Speed, which made him a household name. But when offered a lucrative sequel, he declined. This choice was rooted in integrity, not ego, and Hollywood's reaction was swift: confusion, criticism, and attempts to redefine him. He paid the price for his principles without complaint, demonstrating that personal ethics could outweigh the allure of wealth or fame. By standing firm, Reeves reinforced a central truth: resilience is measured not by what one achieves publicly, but by the commitment to remain honest to oneself, even under immense external pressure. Finding depth in my own private Idaho mid-90s, criticism and uncertainty tested Reeves again, with films like Johnny Mnemonic and Chain Reaction met with harsh reviews. Yet a turning point arrived in my own private Idaho, a performance that revealed the raw vulnerability and humanity behind his quiet exterior. Reeves shared a profound connection with River Phoenix, finding in him a surrogate family that echoed his own fractured past. The collaboration allowed Reeves to channel personal grief into art, capturing nuance and emotional truth that resonated with audiences and critics alike. Tragically, Phoenix's death soon followed, reinforcing the persistent shadow of loss in Reeves's life. Through grief, he continued to create, demonstrating that endurance is not absence of pain, but the ability to transform it into meaningful expression. The transformation of The Matrix. In 1999, The Matrix catapulted Reeves to new levels of fame and physical demand. Portraying Neo required extreme martial arts training, wire work, and endurance, all while recovering from serious neck injuries. His body became both a tool and a battlefield, demonstrating his commitment to truth in performance over comfort or image. While critics continued to debate his range, the film became a global phenomenon, showcasing his ability to inhabit roles that merged physicality with subtle emotional depth. Reeves's journey through The Matrix embodies the core of his life: transformation through endurance. Each physical and emotional challenge reinforced his personal philosophy that resilience is cultivated not by avoiding difficulty, but by confronting it fully and authentically. Reinvention in John Wick. In 2014, Reeves returned with John Wick, a reinvention that cemented his mythic status. The role demanded relentless preparation, shooting ranges, choreography, stunts, and grueling physical strain. His joints and knees were pushed to the limit, yet he persisted, embodying the character's grief, discipline, and almost spiritual sense of duty. Across 4 films, Reeves demonstrated that greatness lies not in invincibility, but in sustained commitment and endurance. Unlike fleeting fame, this phase of his career reflected maturity and mastery, a synthesis of his personal experiences and professional skill. Through John Wick, he transformed pain into action, loss into resolve, and endurance into art, showing the world that reinvention is possible even decades into a career. The man who remains gentle. Despite his fame, Reeves remains private and deeply humane. His relationships are quiet and personal, avoiding tabloid spectacle. The real story of his life is not celebrity, but resilience, the capacity to endure personal tragedy without allowing bitterness to dominate. He demonstrates that suffering need not harden the spirit, and that compassion can persist even when life is relentless. Reeves exemplifies an unusual combination: vulnerability paired with strength, grief met with generosity, and endurance expressed through kindness. His life serves as proof that true greatness is not measured by accolades, but by the quiet choices one makes to maintain integrity and humanity, regardless of how the world perceives or rewards them. A life defined by endurance. Keanu Reeves' journey is not simply a story of fame or professional success. It is a testament to the power of resilience, the ability to carry grief without letting it define or destroy you. He teaches that life's losses, whether sudden or lingering, can shape character and deepen understanding. His life reflects a rare equilibrium: persistence without cynicism, strength without aggression, and visibility without vanity. In an industry often dominated by image, Reeves offers a reminder that authenticity matters more than spectacle. His enduring presence, both on screen and in life, shows that kindness is not weakness, that vulnerability is strength, and that enduring hardship with grace can become one of the most profound forms of greatness imaginable.